Aaron, I'm going to try and record my feedback on your first draft of your speech on stem cell research this time. This is an excellent start, well done. You've clearly used the examples that we've looked at in class to help you think very carefully about your language in your speech. You've used lots of rhetoric devices. For example, rhetorical questions. Don't you agree? They are cute. As well as lists of 3, soft laughter, tiny hands and smooth skin. You've used some strong language in your title, Murdering Babies, to really engage your audience and make them think about the topic. Your title is very effective. It's short and it uses some strong evocative language, like I've said, but also I like that you've put our society's future, because you're addressing high school students who obviously are also the future of this society, so it relates to them really well. Hello students, imagine a healthy, active baby in your mind. This is great because straight away your audience are engaged and you've asked them to do something, so they're going to listen carefully. Picture it: soft laughter, tiny hands and smooth skin. My only comment here is that you can't normally picture soft laughter. So you might say listen to its soft laughter, or you could choose something else that they could see, because picture implies something they can see rather than what they can listen to. Don't you agree they are cute? Good use of rhetorical question here. However. Good however implies a change or contrast that works well. Such innocent creatures. Good use of the word innocent to describe them. As soon as you say someone is innocent, the audience will think that they are the victim. Something bad is being done to them and they can't do anything about it. Such innocent creatures are now being brutally murdered. Again, good use of the adjective, the adverb here, brutally, to describe what's happening to them. Brutally murdered for stem cell research before they got. Sometimes you might hear people say something like, I got a brother. Actually, in English, this isn't correct. It might be that you've misheard and they've actually said, I've got a brother. You see, whenever we use got in this way, it has to be with a have. I have got. I have got a brother. Or you can just replace it simply with have. So here, however, such innocent creatures are now being brutally murdered for stem cell research before they have got a chance to develop into adults would be better here. Stem cell research. By using capitals, you've made this a proper noun. Stem cell research actually is just the name given to all research on stem cells. So unless you're referring to one specific research, for example, the name of a certain type of research or research happening in one place, we wouldn't need capitals for stem cell research. Each year, over $1,000 billion were invested. Think carefully about your tense here. Each year is present every year. Were is the past. So you could say last year, in 2017, over $1,000 billion were invested. Or if it's the present tense, we need to change the verb. Each year, over $1,000 billion are invested in the embryonic stem cell research project. Now that's fine to use a definite article, if you're meaning one specific research project. And if so, you need to tell us, what is this research project? What's it called? If it's one specific project, then embryonic stem cell research project would all need capitals. It becomes a proper noun, the name of something. However, if you're just talking generally about stem cell research, they wouldn't need capitals. So stem cell research, full stop, without the project. My other question here is, this statistic, do you mean worldwide, in the whole world, or do you mean in one country? For example, America, if it's dollars. It'd be good if you could make your fact clear for your audience. The supporters of this research, great, claim that the discoveries of the study would bring. Would is a conditional here. So really you need to use will bring to show that they're saying that if they have this money in the future, this will happen. Will bring significant advances in cell biology field, in the, because it's one specific field now, and could be used to help burn victims. Great, you've given an example as well. Here it would be good if we added in another contrast, but they are hiding a truth from you. They are hiding one important truth or an important truth to really resonate with your audience and make them listen at this point. But they are hiding one important truth from you. Extracting the stem cells necessary, because here it's specific, for the research is destroying human embryos, which would grow into a baby. Here you've used embryos in the plural, which means we need to change baby into plural as well. Destroying human embryos which would grow into babies. The human embryo is the beginning of life. Great, you've made your point very clearly and succinctly here. After being fertilised, the embryo, again we need a definite article because you're referring to one particular embryo having been fertilised. The embryo goes through a process of development and would eventually turn into a child, would eventually become a child. Choice of word there, become would be better than turn into. Therefore, it is fair to say embryos are equivalent to the first stage of human life, since they, plural, because you refer to embryos, since they, and then we need to agree carry, since they carry potential, since they carry the potential to become an infant. Yet human embryos are being used right now, present, are being used as disposable materials in stem cell research. This is a great start. Well done, Karen. You thought very carefully about your use of language. It's very evocative, meaning that when the audience listen to this, then they will feel the emotions that you're intending them to feel. You thought carefully about your choice of words to describe, for example, brutally murdered, soft laughter, tiny hands, and you've used lots of the rhetoric devices that we've seen in class. So well done. As you continue this now, you need to think about your next paragraph. So you've already talked about how actually human embryos, this is a human life. Think about what other arguments we've talked about against embryonic stem cell research. For example, the cost involved, the risks, the fact that they don't know whether the experiment will actually work, some of the potential damage that could be done to people who receive stem cell transplants. Think about the other things it might open the doors to. For example, we talked about how if stem cell research continues, perhaps it could then lead to cloning, and what might that mean for our society if people start to clone people. So think about some of the other arguments that you could draw in to this speech as well. And then in your final paragraph, your conclusion, you need to summarise your arguments. This is a great start so far. Well done.